Hello, it's me once again. How you doing, Finn? Oh, man, this game still crashes a lot for me. I can usually get back into it, but it's a little frustrating. Live and back in the past. Indeed. Hey, Travis. Well, listen, if it's crashing, you know it's live. Testing. Okay, audio levels look good. It's weird, I thought it was crashing again. What are this? I haven't looked. They were mostly positive last I checked, but that was a few days ago. It appears to be very positive now, 81% out of 135 reviews. I don't think it's been as popular as Sea Power was out of the gate. I think a lot more people were playing Sea Power. I think that had a lot more reviews, but... Hey, Seatown. Yeah, Seatown. I was like, wait, did I mispronounce your name? No. That's it. We'll start in like a minute or two. We'll give a few folks some time to show up. Hey, Hauser, how you doing? The chart. Welcome, chat. Welcome. Hello, everybody. It's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Force Admiral, the new game out by Dry Dock Dream Games and published by Microprose. A game currently in early access, looking at a tactical, not really operational, really tactical naval combat during the 1942 period of carrier activity. So looking at Coral Sea, Midway, some of the Solomon Islands battles, and then some of the earlier stuff too, like the carrier raids early in the war. We are returning to our Let's Play of the hard Midway scenario, and that basically means, hey, the Japanese scouting goes the way it should have, and you don't have planes with non-working communications or whatever, or flying late or whatnot. And that did get a little painful. You can see there is no USS Yorktown here. She was sunk. Her air groups did manage to get out on the Japanese and bomb them, but they all are probably in the process of ditching. We have launched successful strikes on the Japanese as well, however. So the Japanese hit Midway, then they sent a raid against us. So like half their planes hit Midway, half their planes hit us, obliterated the Yorktown. But the Yorktown's task force was kind of screening the rest of us because they were like in a different place. So the Yorktown's task force, and maybe we should like, I don't know that we really care about where these guys are going because they don't have a carrier anymore. But they ate all of the enemy attention. And so then our own carrier strikes came in and devastated the Japanese. Now, I don't think, technically speaking, I don't think we have sunk anything of theirs yet. We have badly damaged several of their ships. I don't think any of them have actually slipped below the waves, however. So we have this guy. We're paused right now. You can see we got a Japanese carrier here. which this is the only one of this guy's operating aircraft that is worth knowing. I think he's recovering the Midway strikes, or maybe the strikes that came after us, but this guy actually looks in reasonably good condition. So we may not be... Did we really not hit him with any bombs or torpedoes? Well, that's new. Something to be mindful of, I suppose. Can I see any of their other carriers from here? I'm not sure which one that is. I'm looking around on the TAC view map to see if we can spot anything else. We do have two other carriers out this way which are damaged, although I think they put the fires out. You can see this guy is pretty much dead in the water here and might be sinking. Its bow is just barely hanging out above the waves. It is not, its propellers are not moving. It does have some steam coming. What is this weird artifacting going on here? Okay, this is annoying. If that doesn't stop, we might have to do something about it. Oh wait, she's sinking, and I've got this weird, I don't know what's going on with the gameplay. Why is it like flickering like this? Bizarre. That's not doing it on this screen. Maybe it's just... Okay, seems to have resolved itself. But yeah, so one of these guys is definitely sinking. So one Japanese flat top is sunk, one is crippled. Are these our planes up here, or are these Japanese? I think those might be Japanese float planes from their cruisers. But in any event, we sank one, we damaged badly one, which might sink. And then one appears to still be operational. And what about the fourth one? There should be a fourth carrier around here somewhere. Kaga, maybe? Or is Kaga the one that's operating aircraft? Kaga is the one that... She has a torpedo. I do know Kaga took a torpedo in the front of the ship. But she is moving now. Can't really see it here. At least I thought she took a torpedo in the front of the ship from one of the Avengers. But either way, she's moving. Was that the third one? The fourth one? She's low in the water, though. No, it was Soryu, I think, who was operating. Yeah, Soryu's the one operating. Kaga may not actually be able to move fast enough to have aircraft fly off of her decks. So the Japanese might have two aircraft currently, or two carriers currently operational. One is sinking, one is on the verge of sinking. No, there is not perfect BDA. If we actually take a look here, we're kind of showing it off at the end of the last stream. But if we go to the fighter window here, shout out to Wolfpack, because I was completely ignoring this element in my first couple of playthroughs. And he let me know. But you can actually go here to nav strike and you go to mission log and it'll tell you what happened on the last mission here. It's got general information about deck loads, waypoints, distance, fuel reserves, what happened, damage, OK, KA, MIA, and then it has details. So 3 enemy fighters shot down out of 46, 2 enemy battleships, 4 carriers, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, and 11 destroyers spotted. 1 carrier damaged with 9 bombs, 1 carrier damaged with 8 bombs, and 1 torpedo. These are not perfect numbers. These are, you know, inflated in the same way that these things would be inflated in real life. So those are things you have to factor in. I mean, you can watch the bombs hit and count it yourself. So in that sense, it doesn't like show you explosions that are myths, but it doesn't report it back to you. So if you're not looking and something happens, and that has definitely happened, one of the torpedo hits we had on the enemy was like, I never saw it reported. I didn't watch it. We didn't know what happened. Meanwhile, you can see here one of our scrambles here by the Hornet fighter group shot down 20 enemy B5N2s, 30 D3A1s. So almost the entire Val formation and 2/3 of the Kates. So I'd assume the enemy air groups are pretty badly shattered, because that's just one of the scrambles off the Hornet. That doesn't factor in the Yorktown's fighters. And it doesn't factor in the Enterprise's fighters, who also claim another 19 Kates and 21 Vals. Although, again, some of these numbers may not add up, but I assume we pretty badly shot the enemy up. Wolfpack does know how to game. I will never pretend to be as knowledgeable on games like this as him. All right, so we need to launch some follow-up strikes. I think we're done retrieving our aircraft here. It looks like Enterprise has nothing going on the flight deck. Same for Hornet. If we go to TF16 and we go to fleet information, it shows we still have 133 aircraft. So we lost about 12 aircraft from the Enterprise and Hornet. Not very heavy losses. The Yorktown's air group of over 70 aircraft is completely gone. I don't know if at some point like aircraft will land on carriers they're not a part of if their own carrier is disabled. It doesn't seem like any of that happened here. So in any event, we've got 42 fighters, 66 dive bombers, and 25 torpedo bombers. That is very close to our initial full complement. And I think it is time to launch another strike. Although the music just changed, which makes me a little nervous. Let's go check this out. Do we see anything? No. Are there any aircraft coming up from Midway that might be striking? These guys all got shot down, right? Ditch. Searching target. Oh. Okay, so there's actually another flight of dive bombers coming up. What about B-17s? Where are they at? They're a little further back. So we got our second flight of dive bombers coming out of Midway, getting ready to strike the Japanese carriers. I would like for the aircraft to land on aircraft carriers they're not a part to finish. That would be nice. You can merge task forces, but maybe we would have had to have done it previously. I split and merged task forces when I was playing a previous scenario, but they're not really all that close together right now either. Maybe we should charge our surface task force in and engage the enemy ships. If the battleships get damaged by our carriers, it might be worthwhile. Which one do we want to try and strike? Probably this one, right? New strike. We're out of range for our torpedo bombers? Really? All right, shift your tasking here. How far out of range? Okay, not very far out of range. So I think we can do this. By the time they spot, I think we'll be in range. I don't want to launch everybody because if the enemy does launch strikes against us, I do want to have a cap remaining. And it looks like Enterprise actually lost like 10 fighters. Or at least 10 aren't ready yet to go back out. So we're going to launch 32 dive bombers and 14 torpedo bombers. We will do deferred departure with offensive power and early spotting that will make sure that the aircraft go as one cohesive body. And we will green light them. They will take until 11 o'clock to spot, so we got a half an hour. All right, meanwhile, let's go ahead and do another strike here from the Hornet. We'll do 7 fighter aircraft on escort here. Their fighter group didn't lose a single fighter. And we'll go with 34 dive bombers and 11 torpedo bombers. Same deal. Early spotting, deferred departure, offensive power, and green light. Hopefully the enemy doesn't launch any strikes against us. Meanwhile, while we start that process, Are those fighters? What's up there? Why are they flying? Or no, the formation appears to be banking. Sure hope they're not like giving up the hunt, because we don't see the enemy anywhere in here. Are they turning around? They might be. Did they not? Maybe they assumed the enemy would keep coming south when they took off. That would really suck. Yep, heading south. They're heading back to Midway. Where are the B-17s going? Are they all flying that? They're that far off their target, they're not even going to see him or hit him? Lame. First time I've actually seen an air group turn back. That's unfortunate. Okay. All right. Can I not order? Oh, all right. I would rather have these guys move out this way. We can always do a surface engagement, although I don't know how well two heavy cruisers are going to do against that Japanese force of battleships. But we'll see. It's very possible our upcoming raid goes after surface craft anyway. All right. We're spotting. It's going to take till at least 11 o'clock to complete spotting. The one lonely plane on the front of the deck. It's just like, I'm just minding my own business, staying out of the way. Hopefully the enemy isn't launching any strikes against us. We can actually take a look here and see. It's a little bit gamey, but yeah, she's dead in the water. I think she's sinking too. Oh yeah. Bow is, with waves, the bow is starting to dip. I think she is slowly sinking. So we saw the one other Japanese carrier, which is basically completely immersed. I think this guy's going down. I suppose they could still save her. To me, it looks like she's a goner. But I've been wrong before. Maybe it's just a slow process. Either way, it's just... I hate when the music changes on me. All right, group's ready to go, I think. How about... Oops, pause. How about Enterprise? Enterprise is ready to go. Does Enterprise not have catapults? It looks like Hornet does. But I don't see a track. Well, maybe up front here. Hard to tell if that... No, I don't think so. Maybe right here? They don't have anybody on it, though. Interesting that the Wildcats are further forward on the Hornet. In any event, let's go ahead and order the launch. They're spotted, they're waiting. They're now in range of the dive bombers. Take off. Take off. All right, boys. And it looks like a couple of aircraft are going to have to be respotted on the Enterprise. Her deck isn't big enough for everybody to go. The Hornet, meanwhile, everybody goes. So the aircraft carriers are going to turn into the wind. And our second strike will be on the way. Yorktown's escorts are too far away, Nash. But yes, in theory, we could merge them. Yeah, so here's the issue. We've still got all these aircraft below deck. Now, some of them are fighters. I think there's a few bombers, too. It'd be cool if there was a flight deck view rather than, like, me having to try and see through the... Oh, this is a cool view. This isn't even the... This is, like... This is better than that bridge view we had before. I can see back and forward. Look at all of these engines going. All right, we're turning into the wind. I think we should be going here. The other carrier's behind me, so I can't see her from... She's like straight through this rangefinder, it looks like. I think this is a rangefinder. That's what the little goofy things on the side mean. And this is obviously like an armored cupola or something. You can tell, like, it looks like concrete almost. Whoa. One aircraft is away. Get up in the air. There's one from the other carrier over there, I think. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Does stores matter? Do you ever run out of ammo? Because that's one thing I'm not totally clear on. If we go here, you can actually click on an aircraft carrier, and you can click on its like panel here that gives you information, and it says ammo's 100%, which I'm assuming is like for the guns more so than for anything else. Where's the other carrier? Oh, she's behind us. So she's actually through there. Ghost Rider, the pattern is pull, full, or whatever. Hi guys, look, you got a nice little 100-pound bomb. Let's see what it says here. Explosive U.S. bombs with paths. Lot 1223. It's like production notes. They all have the same writing on their bombs. Oh. Lot 1223. Lot 1223. Lot 1223. I'm sure this makes for good content. There's the other carrier back through here. Alright, the dive bombers are underway now too. Alright. We have no current intel on the enemy. We've lost all of our visuals. Tell me the B-17s didn't turn back. At least tell me the B-17s kept going. They got plenty of range. Oh, they turned back too? Dear Lord. What about our search. They're on the ingress. They should be getting over the enemy task force soon, I would think. Mm-hmm. All right. Speed things up a little bit. We don't need to watch every aircraft take off. I'm aware that's the Air Force, the Wild Blue Yonder. I'm deliberately mixing it up. Thank you very much. Yeah, it'd be neat if the lot numbers were varied. Are these the scout planes from our morning raid returning? It looks like it, to the cruisers up here. What's the speed here? 29 knots. Thank you very much for the follow, Brent, and the Prime Sum, Bat Dad. Appreciate it. All right, so our scout planes are going while our aircraft are still taking off. Enterprise is slowing the whole strike package up because she's got too many aircraft. Hornets boys might already be en route, so they'll probably get there first because I think the other guys will wait for Enterprise. Our socks are landing. That might actually be kind of cool. Does it show them like winching the aircraft out of the... ocean? Because that would be cool to see. They'd have to come to a stop, right? Or do they just magically appear back on the ships? I hear them. This cruiser's missing its scout planes. It could have gotten shot down. I think there were a few in that flight that were lost. I can't actually click on the flight though, because usually when they start to land, the flight is like not selectable. Task Force 17 has been detected by an enemy search asset. Okay, well, that's not surprising. At least we got the strike off. Wonder if they're not going to land for a while. Maybe they still have fuel? Not really sure. Imagine being one of those U.S. sailors and seeing nothing for 100,000 kilometers. Well, at the very least, you've seen a bunch of aircraft take off. So you know something's going on. All right. Aircraft are done taking off. So these guys are going to be en route here. Oh, here he comes. Here, you see this aircraft down here? I want to know how they handle landing. Or is he just going to fly over us? I mean, I know we've seen Catalinas at Midway on the water, but that's different. That's a stationary base as opposed to a task force. There's two of them now. It definitely looks like he's landing back there. So who's going to go pick him up? Don't tell me he just ditches and gets left there. Oh, okay. Maybe they, okay, so they don't actually have you winch him out of the water as best I can tell, because he did not land on the catapult like that. So I guess they just abstract that away, at least at this stage. Yeah, because we launched all the scouts on both of those cruisers. All right, so our planes are up and going. We spotted the enemy task force again with our socks, who are now above there. Akagi, does she have any activity on her deck? She's still sinking. She's low in the water. She's definitely sinking, I think. Definitely, I think. I sound like someone who's new in their job. But like, that does not look good. She's certainly out of action. Okay. Then we've got Soryu over here. She's also low in the water. I think she's the one we saw doing some stuff with her flight deck, but we don't see any sign of enemy aircraft. So maybe she's only got a cap up. I haven't seen any indication that she's launching a strike. Suppose they could have done it while we were doing other things. Can we just click on her and watch her for a little bit and see if we see any activity? I have no idea how many aircraft she has left either. Or if she even retrieved her aircraft from Midway. Most of the carriers probably didn't, I assume, because they were on fire. But there's no deck hits here. In terms of kind of like War on the Sea, what I would say is the air combat and the attacks on ships vastly superior. One, the air combat is just much more complicated and less like, oh, we're just gonna go, you know, weavy back and forth. But also because of the scale. We have 103 aircraft inbound right now. What did War on the Sea have, like 9 aircraft per mission or something like that? You can see you've got a flight of 3 here, flight of 3 there, 3 here, 3 there. And that's just one flight. These guys aren't even flying terribly in formation. Oh, there you go. Here's a better view. Look at all these aircraft. We've got all these guys behind us into the rear. And then just look at the, you know, straight ahead. Just the sky dotted with aircraft. Surface combat does exist. I think War on the Sea's surface combat might be better, but its scale is still severely limited to what, like 9 or 10 ships per task force. Alright, where are we at right now? We're still a ways away, right? Oh, we're getting close. So that first flight is at least getting close. Who are we going to bomb? That's the question. We know one of their carriers is sunk. Here's another one up this way. These are the battleships, I think. We already saw Soryu. So we're probably going to go for finishing off Akagi. There's Soryu, and then there's one remaining carrier somewhere here. The Surface Task Force is booking it. They're like, screw you carriers, you're on your own. Can't imagine they'd be able to get out of here faster than us. Like, what's their speed? 29 knots? Huh? Maybe. 0 knots for the Akagi. I don't think 2 carriers sunk, though. I mean, it's possible. Anyway, we'll watch the attack. Last time I played Midway, I only sank one enemy carrier officially, or maybe it was 2. And 2 survived. Although I think they both realistically would have been scuttled. Here we go, boys. Line them up. En route to the IP. Flak down there. How are the torpedo bombers doing? Where are they at? Oh yeah, these guys are heading down. All right, so this formation's a little bit further back. These torpedo bombers are not yet diving. I think if we're going for the Akagi, I hope we don't all go for the Akagi, because these, if there's one thing that we've seen, it's that the Devastator can cripple and destroy a dead-in-the-water ship. So we can definitely get her. Soryu would be the bigger challenge, because she's booking it a bit. But like, this guy's already sinking. This would be like, put one more fish in her. Don't waste your whole flight on it. As it is, what do I know? There are not zeros behind us. You guys have to know better than this. They're not even, I don't even see much flak. One fish out. That guy dropped early, it feels like to me. Two fish out. Everybody's dropping. See the anti-aircraft guns firing along the side. I'd maybe try and shoot at the torpedoes that are incoming. Maybe they are. You see a whole bunch of splashes in the water. I think those are just misses. The torpedo bombers are flying pretty low. Where are the fish? Here's one of them. Two of them. I mean, I would hope the enemy's dead in the water. I would hope every single torpedo is lined up successfully for a hit. She's not moving. Now, they may not all explode. We've seen duds before. There's a hit. There's a hit. Two amidships. Three, one off the bow. Pretty sure I hear the dive bombers. Guys, she's dead. Can you not attack her? What is that, like 5 torpedoes that just hit her? 6. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Ah! I don't think she's gonna survive, guys. I wonder if ships can capsize. One thing I didn't like about War on the Sea was, those are 2 more torpedo hits, was how it seemed like every single ship sank the same way once they got to a certain point. We've seen ships go nose up and stern, you know, bow up and stern up. She's sinking fast. All right. Goodbye, Akagi. This is no war crime. This is just war. These guys are like, well, job well done. Back to base with coffee and jam. Okay, I think the first flight probably didn't drop yet, right? Yeah, these guys have not dropped. Okay. You guys just need to go a little bit further. Wait, is that a different carrier than the one we saw? Please go a little bit further. Where's this? So Soryu sunk. We see another carrier out here this way. Oh, that was a Kaga that sank. Oh no, is this Kaga then? So this is the third carrier then. And so we've already sunk 2 now, I think. And this is the guy who's another carrier who's... Well, she doesn't have any deck damage either. I'm very confused. So there's a carrier up that way. I see nothing. Well, let's see where we strike. I suppose with that other carrier way out that way, they may choose to hit some surface targets. They could go for these destroyers, which seems like it would be a waste. Please don't try and torpedo destroyers. It sure looks like you're going to. At least find a bigger target. Did you drop? God damn it. What are you dropping on? First off, you're not even dropping on the broadside. Yeah, great. Well, none of those are going to hit. First off, you weren't even close. Second off, these guys are nimble as fuck. Classic idiot torpedo bombers. Yeah. They just want to get back to the base. They're like, listen, we fly in death traps. What are you expecting from us? Which, fair, if this was Vietnam and these guys were just trying to punch a ticket to get home. My dive bomber's gonna try and hit a destroyer too. They got a better chance. It still seems like a waste of a flight in the better part of a day. Sure looks like we're headed for that destroyer. God damn it. Well, you got a bow hit. For sure, 1 explosion. I don't know how much damage a destroyer can take in this game, but I can't imagine it's a ton. She's already ablaze. Where's the enemy ship? I don't know. She could just sink from all the water coming down from the bombs. Some of these guys are dropping real short. Another bomb hit there. So at least 2 hits, I think. Did she already sink? Dear God. That was fast. I'm guessing she's going down with all hands. Goodbye, destroyer. Gurgle, gurgle. Something's aflame down there. I wonder if that's the carrier. so glad we wasted all those bombs on. I think some people bombed this destroyer too. Doesn't look like any damage. Well, no, never mind. Is that char marks from a... She might be sinking too. Maybe more slowly. She sure is low in the water. But now we just gotta wait for all our boys to return to base. So we're gonna launch another strike on the enemy carriers. I don't know if she's gonna sink or not. She sure is low in the water though. But she's still making good speed. So she may survive. Damaged, but... Maybe the rudder's damaged. She seems to just be turning and there's no one around anymore. Whoa. That was weird. Any chance she'll still sink? My planes are all flying back to base anyway. No, I remember seeing the one other bomb. I saw the one bomb splash. I didn't see any explosion hits, but obviously our attention was drawn toward the destroyer we were obliterating. I don't think she's gonna sink. Found her, found her, found her, found her. It's like one more bomb hit and you'd for sure be sunk. She's leaking oil like a sieve though. And her amidships keeps going below the waves. Thank you much for the follow, Goose Annex. Brent the Rent. That was 20 minutes ago, but we just got to wait for our planes to get back to the carriers. I don't really have much else to do right now, so just scoping out if this guy sinks or not. All right, some planes are returning to base. Yeah, she's not going to sink. She's not going to do anything. She ain't going to sink. All right. Let's see here. Planes are returning and landing. We need more scouts. Okay. Shadow priority target carriers. Accept and go. So we'll launch more scout planes off those cruisers while the aircraft return. I don't think anything's coming up from Midway. Are they returning to base too, or did they drop? These guys did not drop. Is this another flight? This isn't the same flight as was before, was it? Oh, no, it might be the same flight. Sand Island seaplanes are where? Another flight of them coming out. We'll probably get one more flight off, one more raid off before night. Problem is we keep turning back into the wind, which gives the enemy an advantage to getting away from us. I'd like to get one more carrier. I'd really like to get one more. Okay. Still says planes are landing. Yep. A lot of air activity as these guys get back on deck. Did we lose any aircraft? We were at what, 133 before the raid? We lost nobody. Not a single aircraft lost. We're still at 133. That's a good raid. All right. So we have 2 carriers spotted by those scouts who just came out. So we've sunk 2. There's 2 left. I think this is Kaga, because Akagi sank. And she, I mean, I don't think she's going to, or no, this is Soryu, never mind. Or not Soryu, but maybe it is Soryu. I don't know. It's of that class. And then the other one up here. Do they both really have undamaged flight decks? Okay. We can't even hit them with dive bombers? Or is that just with torpedoes? It's an hour out of range. What about for the fighters? Can they reach it? Yeah, the fighters can do fine. Should I just send 10 dive bombers out to get it now? Yeah, fuck it. Just go. As soon as you're able to. From the Hornet. I hope that doesn't interrupt landing operations. So that's only a portion because obviously we didn't land everybody. So we only sent 10 off. We'll send them in piecemeal buckets now just to try and get the enemy, you know, just to try and take care of them before nightfall. Oh, I wasn't even looking at Hornet. I was looking at Enterprise. Either way, they're both still receiving aircraft. Maybe they can arm them below the decks. I'm inclined to have both strike at the furthest target. Just because they'll overfly the rest of the formation, and if they don't find anything, they'll still see something to bomb. Small piecemeal raids might be the way to go. These guys are still coming in. It takes so long to land 133 aircraft. When is the landing going to be done? Dear Lord. All right, they're moving the guys to the back of the deck. That means the landing's done here. These guys are still landing over here. Okay. It's fine. We should be in range of them, I would think, for pickup. All right, these guys are taking off. Did I have 10 aircraft originally? And then I think we'll just order another strike. Right? Just keep ordering them on this one, on this far flight. Okay. Okay, so we'll have two separate flights, I suppose. I think there might still be some aircraft landing, maybe. Or these, it's just the guys taking, no. Okay. So we did the smaller initial strike, and we'll do a bigger one now that we've got. This guy's ready to go. We'll just order him to go as, you know, go with what you've got. Not for the initial strike, maybe for the later follow-on ones. In terms of why they were sent the way they were sent. Why is their target so far? Why is their waypoint? AI, what are you doing? They're not, you are not adjusting your strikes. It's like you're assuming they're still coming from Midway. All right. Create new air search. TF-17 seaplanes, carriers, priority. Go. Okay, so I think this is the first flight here. We'll see what they see, what they do. Assuming that one of these carriers is like way out of range here. We probably won't get a second day unless the enemy turns around at night. Those guys are way back. All right. Sure hope these guys don't run out of fuel. I'm worried that's what the red means. Okay. Does the game model differences in the quality of squadrons? I don't know how the squadrons are set up for this particular scenario. I do know when you go to the scenario generator, the game does have options for like green, veteran, elite for the different air groups. So I assume the scenarios, depending on the time of the war and how many, you know, if I was a scenario designer, I guess is what I'm saying, I would factor those things into account. Whether they did or not is a different question, but the game does support that capability. Please don't just attack the first thing you see, guys. Your orders are to attack a task force that is at the edge of where all these enemy ships are. I would hope you would at least fly there. And it looks like we've got all the strikes up now. So we've got 4 flights, a flight of 10, a flight of 9, a flight of 20, and a flight of 24. All that'll be coming in on what we assume is an enemy force without any combat air patrol. We have not seen any indication that their carriers are still operable at this point. And they're all running the opposite direction. Our last raid that went in didn't lose a single plane, so I am assuming that we're going to hit them with limited damage on our end. But we shall see. Here they go, flying through the cloud cover. Where are we on the map? This game makes me want to sing. It makes me want to shout. Throw my hands up and shout. Okay, so they definitely flew past some of the surface task forces. I don't know if they spotted them because it doesn't look like we have a visual on anything down there. I'm guessing that's a sock. We've got at least one carrier here 34 minutes ago at the edge of the target ring. The enemy is obviously retreating. Okay. Okay, someone spotted a surface task force, that's fine. Just waiting to see what we see. So maybe you at least fly to the IP before you start looking for the first thing you see. Where's the sun anyway? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Still a ways up there. We might even have time to get another strike. It's only 3 o'clock. I mean, 3 o'clock. It is summer though. It's June, so, well, not really summer, but longer day. It looks like we're lining up. We're now en route to IP, so the boys are getting ready to strike. We see a wake down here. Is that a carrier? It looks like it might be. All right, should we watch from this view? I'd have to switch out of it because as soon as we pull off the bomb run, it's not going to be a very interesting view. But it could be interesting up until that point. Hello, sir. Your face is bubbly. Immaculate lips, though. Jared CS, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I think I might have already thanked you. Said 7 minutes ago. Time is a blur. All right, we got some flak. Just waiting for my guy to get the excitement. Oh, no. Oh. All right, here we go. Look at the meatball right down there. As cool as this view is, it's going to suck in like 2 seconds. All right, we got 10 bombers nosing over. She is maneuvering. I wonder whatever happened. We did see one aircraft in I think it was her hangar. Oh, that guy dove way low. Dropped late. Oh, we got one hit. Probably not enough to sink her. that everybody? We only had 10 aircraft drop for this first raid. Doesn't look like a fire started either, so it might have been a 100-pounder. Okay, the rate of 10 is done. Where are these guys? These guys are still a little ways out. I want to know what the different symbols are. Is this just being a capital ship with the 2 hash? Because they look the same as the carriers. I misclicked. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so she's got 1 crater. I don't think there's any way she sinks. Not enough damage yet. You never know, but... Curious what's here. Is this just 1 destroyer? The one that we saw before? Because we could definitely sink her with gunfire. I'd probably be leery of... She looks dead in the water. I wonder if she's sinking on her own. She was moving before, you guys may recall, but now she's not. Maybe she's actually sinking. Firing flak. I haven't seen any planes get shot down yet either. I mean, we have in previous raids. We did shoot down a bunch of enemy aircraft, but not enough for like a whole carrier to be out of them. If the flight deck was closed, perhaps that, you know, prevented them from landing and they could have all crashed in the sea. En route to IP, so I'm assuming we're hunting now. The sky really does seem to have cleared up a bit. 3 over there, 3 here, 3 here, so just the 9 aircraft. Now we're bombing the target. Oops. All right, let's see if we can do any more damage. I think we're the last in line. 3 have already dove, 3 more diving, and then our 3. First bomb hit was well aft. Those guys are not terribly close. It would suck if we don't get any hits, but those first 2 drops were not inspiring. Yorktown got absolutely obliterated. I think she took 6 torpedoes in the span of 30 seconds. And then another half dozen bombs or so. She sank in less than 5 minutes. Okay, some closer ones, but it looks like it's going to be down to us because I think the aircraft on the left is way too far off to hit anything. Missed 2. Damn it. Not a single hit. You guys suck. These guys are searching target already? Okay. So we've got a flight of 20 about to cream them. Assuming they see it. I think that first flight is about to land on Hornet. I don't know. Yorktown sank fast and under a hail of bombs and torpedoes. It's possible everybody on the bridge was killed. Now that we're in range of the target. Oh. It's like everybody just dove. Here we go. Dropping through the clouds. Somehow I'm like one of the last. I thought I was near the front of the formation, but I see smoke. Whoa! We must have had the other 24 bombers go in and hit her, because I did not see. All right, well, this is a change of pace. She's in trouble. Good hit right on the center. All right, well, this one's a goner, I think. I hope. So did these guys already hit then? They must have. It's the only other explanation. No, they haven't hit yet. Well, then there must have been another flight of those 20 dive bombers that hit before me. She's over here. I'm assuming we're going to turn in and go for her. We're back to the overkill approach. All right. That's a lot of smoke. Look at all those aircraft back there. Think of the follow Centaur. Good hits, good hits. 3 good explosions right on those first 2 bombers. All right. I gotta hope she's a goner. The problem is none of these are torpedoes, so nothing below the waterline. She'll be a burned out hulk. I don't know if she'll sink. We'll see. She's getting lower in the water, that's for sure. She's not dead in the water, though. She's still making way. More bombs. We had another flight and I didn't realize it. Sorry, guys. At least one more explosion. Just fast forwarding to try and see if she'd sink, but... The thing is, this game definitely has realistic sinking times, so it can take quite a while for a ship to slip below the waves, and even then it can be gradual. Okay. She certainly seems very low in the water, but I don't know that she's going to sink. It doesn't seem like it to me. Gotta wait for these planes to land. Very low in the water in the front there. Maybe she's gradually sinking? I think she might actually be sinking. The bow is definitely partially below the waves. We had that last night, though, and it didn't sink, so... Okay, she's going down for sure. Flight deck's awash. At least the front of it. Hangar deck's awash. She's going under. For sure. Got her. She's not sinking. She's submerging. She's a submarine. What is that saying? Every ship's a submarine once. Down she goes. There you go, boys. All right, that's 3 enemy flat tops at the bottom of the ocean for sure. I don't know if we can get to the 4th before dark. But let's watch at least one of them just tail under and bob for a bit. See if we'll watch her go under. There she goes. All right. Yeah. Are we engaging these guys with surface guns yet? Are we 21 nautical miles? Probably out of range for the moment. Astoria's signaling general quarters. I'm pulling an or was it the Iowa, or was it Spruance? Someone put an Iowa class into truck, I think it was, because basically, you know, it's like, well, there's no need for them to be here, but let's get some gunnery in. No gun target yet. You did signal general quarters, but... Oh, here we go. Look at them go, boys. I wish the guns recoiled a little. Anybody here seen In Harm's Way? Not a historical film, but a film I enjoy. You're pointing up, but you've got nothing to shoot at back there. I'm assuming we're shooting at this guy. Maybe not. Maybe there's someone else. No, that's who you're shooting at for sure. There we go. Shell splashes. Not quite as dramatic as bomb splashes, but hopefully we can get another destroyer here. So we've got 3 carriers confirmed. Also have shells, or we also have a destroyer. She's dead in the water. I don't see a whole lot of indication of hits, a lot of near misses. I don't really know if they like explode into flame though. The enemy at least has their turrets trained back on us. They ain't moving though. You'd think they'd be an easier target than this. The only other time I used surface action was when we fought at night that one time. I don't know why this music right now makes me think of Dante's Peak. We're not getting another airstrike off. We're still recovering aircraft. It's already 5:15. The sun's starting to set. I must be getting hits. She's definitely getting lower in the water. It looks like we've actually stopped shooting, so maybe she's sunk. She's not on here anymore, so she's definitely sunk. Nice big oil slick as she slips beneath the waves. Goodbye, Japanese destroyer. Okay. Spruance, who took the Iowa, New Jersey into surface action and Hailstone. Gotcha. All right, well, the enemy's sunk there. I can't really do anything else. It's too late in the day. I'm thinking maybe we end the scenario. I mean, I don't know that I have anything else to do right now. We could try and push for the morning and try and chase down the enemy, but they've got a huge head start on us, so I don't think it's worth. A stern chase is a long chase. I think we just debrief and see. Yay!
Midway stands. As the courageous island licks its wounds, the latest tallies report an outstanding victory for U.S. forces. Navy, Marine, and Army airmen have struck a crushing blow against the enemy armada, shattering its recent streak of bloody successes. The great sacrifices of American warriors have not been in vain. For this dramatic turning point will surely be recorded in the history books for generations to come. With the Japanese Navy broken and in retreat, High Command is already shaping new plans to restore Allied superiority in the Pacific. Many trials still lie ahead, but spirits are high and confidence is strong. At Midway, Japan's Imperial ambitions met their doom, and the enemy's final downfall has begun.
Well, you see 28 battleships, you know, it's in your heart. If you feel that you destroyed the enemy battleship, then you destroyed an enemy battleship. Doesn't matter if you destroyed an actual ship. All right, Midway stands, and so does the U.S. Navy, proudly so. Although the battle began under uncertain circumstances, the valiant crews flying from Midway and our carriers prevailed in a clash that now turned the tide in the Pacific. The enemy's sword was irreparably blunted. I wonder if they switch this to shattered if you sink all four. Because it says the same victory as when I sank 2 the other day. Strategic victory, tactical victory. It doesn't. Is there like a decisive victory? I didn't save the replays, so we can't do that. Full report here. Hiryu sunk and destroyed. Akagi sunk and destroyed. Well, I'm saying the same thing twice. Mazkazi sunk, and so we sank 2 destroyers, 3 carriers, and we damaged the Kaga. The Kaga did manage to escape. Destroyed 82 Zeros, 79 Kates, 69 Vals, 2 Jakes. We lost the Yorktown, which I would guess also if we hadn't lost the Yorktown, maybe it would be considered a decisive victory. Lost 4 B-26s, 21 Buffaloes, poor Buffaloes, 6 F4 F3s, 37 F4 F4s, most of those from the Yorktown's era group. That'll be true for the SBDs and the TBDs as well. We lost 6 Avengers and then 8 SBD2 or SB2U Vindicators, I think. So mission objective, force the enemy to retire. Success. I assume maybe there's a destroy the enemy fleet if we get all 4 carriers. I'm not really sure. But I'd call that a pretty good success, if you don't mind me saying so. But yeah. I think that'll do it for tonight, guys. We've been streaming for an hour and a half, but we won the scenario. There is a battle generator as well, I guess I'll call out. So you can see, but this is like Coral Sea. I don't see the option to fight Midway here. Unless there's a button I'm not thinking of. And this is where I was mentioning the skills. So you can see enemy air skill can be poor, it can be average, good, very good, or elite. Your own friendly skills on the same trait. And this is the just sort of random battle generator, but it's on the Coral Sea map. So I don't know if they'll add a Midway random battle generator or not. I would assume they would, but what do I know? The scenarios that are available in the early access right now, there's 2 scenarios at Coral Sea. The historical Cranes and Patriots, which is the second day of the battle after the air groups are already devastated. And then Cranes, Patriots, and Friends, which includes a surprise guest, which I believe is the Kaga. So it gives the Japanese a 3rd carrier, much harder. And then Fortress Midway, the busy morning at Point Luck, which is the historical scenario for June 4th, with the Japanese scouts being all mixed up. And then the hard variant, which is what we just won, with the Japanese scouts following the proper processes. And so they detect you much earlier. Obviously, there's over 30 scenarios planned. So scenarios that start in December of 41 for Wake Island as historical and hypothetical, all the way out to Halsey's Dilemma and the Doolittle raid. You also have more Coral Sea scenarios. There's an additional 5 Coral Sea scenarios, 3 historical, 2 hypothetical. There are an additional 5 Midway scenarios, 1 historical, and then I don't know what this is, but 4 hypotheticals. I'm assuming, given 1 is battle wagons off Midway, that would be like the Yamato getting into the fight. And then maybe 1 where there's like a siege and your carriers have to try and hit the surface task force or something. Not sure. And then you've got Watchtower. So landings on Guadalcanal, I assume, and conflict around there, and I think out to Santa Cruz. Or was it Santa Cruz? Whatever the name of the final battle there, whether the Hornet probably dies. But yeah, that is the current state of early access for Task Force Admiral, a new tactical real-time naval combat game set in 1942 for the most part, a few 1941 scenarios. And it's made by Dry Dock Dream Games, and Microprose is publishing it. I hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Thanks again for coming out. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.